the green bread, the lawful wine, the devil's cup, all names for the most famous drink consumed in the world, the drink that many people don't start their day without. Annually, humans consume more than 400 billion cups of coffee, a very terrifying and thought-provoking number. What is the secret behind this drink, and why is it the one out of all other drinks that managed to pave its way into almost all human societies? Welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell so you can receive our videos promptly. One of the interesting things about coffee is that the history of its discovery is a bit strange. The origin of the discovery of the coffee that the whole world drinks dates back to one of the sheep, a gentle goat that caused a complete change in the world's course and influenced the global economy for more than 1,000 years. The story begins in Ethiopia. There was a man herding a group of goats who discovered that some of the goats in the flock suddenly showed vitality and activity after eating the fruits of a specific tree, a strange tree about 6 meters tall with red fruits resembling berries. The matter aroused his curiosity to the extent that he decided to try the strange fruits himself. As soon as he picked a few and ate them, he too suddenly felt active. Immediately, he took some of the beans and presented them to one of the monks to see what these strange beans were. They ended up throwing them in the fire. After a while, they put them in water and started trying to drink this magical mixture, the mixture that kept them all awake until late at night. This was the first cup of coffee ever made in history. The story of coffee's emergence doesn't end here. Historical sources confirm that the actual start of coffee was in the 15th century. A Yemeni man named Guth Akbar Nur al-Hassan Abu al-Hassan noticed a group of birds circling near him in an unusual way. When he observed their path, he discovered that they were eating strange fruits resembling wild berries. When he tasted the fruits himself, he immediately knew the reason for the birds' activity, and thus, Guth began to spread these magical coffee beans throughout Yemen, and everyone loved it. The surprising thing in both stories is that the animals, bless their souls, were the ones who led humans to this amazing discovery. In reality, whether it was the birds or the goats, they were the reason. Ultimately, the history of coffee's appearance goes back to Ethiopia, and from there, it moved to the Arabian Peninsula, specifically Yemen, which later became the official patron of coffee worldwide, because the climate and soil of Yemen qualified it to be the cradle of coffee cultivation on Earth. By the 16th century, coffee moved from Yemen to Persia, Egypt, Syria, and Turkey, and it was then called the wine of the Arabs. There became specific places dedicated to cultivating it and serving it to travelers. Gradually, its popularity spread to Europe, reaching Italy and spreading east until it reached Indonesia and west to the Americas and the Netherlands. In 1650 AD, the first coffee house was established in England, so that only 25 years later, the number of coffee houses reached more than 3,000. Coffee spread throughout the world like wildfire, eventually becoming the favorite drink of most of humanity. One thing coffee lovers know is that not all beans are equally good. There are good types of coffee and other mediocre ones that we can easily distinguish. Each type of bean is completely different in flavor, aroma, appearance, and acidity. If you're a coffee lover, it is very easy to know the type of coffee from the first sip, what additives are in it, and if you are very seasoned and old in the trade, you can even guess the name of the country where the beans were grown just by tasting them. Of course, when we talk about the countries that grow coffee, Brazil must appear at the top of the list. 1/3 of the world's coffee supply is produced in Brazil alone. It produces more than 2.5 million tons of coffee beans annually and managed to maintain the first place in coffee production for more than 150 consecutive years. Vietnam comes next in second place with 1.6 million tons of coffee beans, and in third place is Colombia, followed by Indonesia, Ethiopia, India, Uganda, and Mexico. It is amazing that the cup of coffee you drink in the morning takes a very long journey to reach your cup, a journey that begins with planting the seeds in huge nurseries away from strong sunlight. Once the seedling is ready, it is then planted in the permanent soil, and a single coffee tree takes 3 to 4 years to grow. After the growth is complete, the harvest season begins, and coffee beans are harvested from the trees either manually or by specialized machines and equipment for harvesting. After that, they are placed in special areas to dry and be exposed to the sun. Then the beans are packaged and exported, and they are often still green. When they reach the places that will sell them or process them, they are the ones who roast them there to reach the brown color we know, and only one step is left, which is for you to make the cup of coffee the way you like it. It is amazing that when we talk about coffee and the economy, we will discover that coffee is the second largest traded commodity in the world after oil, not gold, not silver, and not even wheat. No, coffee. Coffee is now considered one of the most fundamental pillars of the modern diet. Many countries have economies based entirely on the production and export of coffee. Moreover, there is now an international coffee organization called the International Coffee Organization that regulates political and financial relations between coffee exporting countries and coffee importing countries. Moreover, coffee has recently been described in some countries as the drink consumed more than tap water. Imagine that the economic return for coffee in the United States in 2015 was estimated to be more than $200 billion, and the coffee industry managed to provide more than 1.6 million jobs in the United States alone. Aside from the economy, money, history, and all that, the most controversial question when talking about coffee is coffee harmful? In the truth, if we talk about moderate consumption, coffee is not harmful at all. On the contrary, coffee offers benefits to the human body, such as protection against heart attacks and protection against strokes. Moreover, it has the ability to burn fat and contains essential nutrients and substances for the body, such as vitamins B2, B3, and B5, and the elements manganese, magnesium, and potassium, besides, of course, its ability to increase focus and mental activity, which is actually the main reason why coffee is popular. But this is, of course, in the case of moderation. Excess in everything is harmful, meaning if you drink a large number of cups of coffee every day, there is no doubt that this will be harmful. Excessive coffee drinking can increase blood sugar levels and may lead to increased heart rate, and this is all due to excess, not the coffee itself. The safe limit for coffee consumption is 3 to 4 cups at most per day. Finally, if you are still worried about the harms of coffee, there is an alternative that can reassure you about the issue of harm, keep you away from it, and at the same time not deprive you of the coffee you love. This alternative is decaf. Although the word coffee and decaf should not be in the same sentence, this invention actually exists. The amazing thing is that this coffee has the exact same taste and aroma as regular coffee. The only difference is that if you drink it, you won't stay awake and you won't feel any activity, meaning you shouldn't drink it at all. That's it. We're done. Who made it this far? Everyone who reached here, you are the best. Now give us a like before you leave so we know how many people reached the end, and don't forget to write us a suggestion for an episode in the comments. Goodbye.